What's going on, everybody? It is week 2, and you know what? We're not even doing an intro this week. Let's just jump into it. I got my games queued up. I can't even talk. Okay, I gotta back up 1 second first, actually, because week 1 I forgot to include a highlight, and I did scamp a little bit dirty. So you know what? Scamp, this one's for you. We got the Slow King boost, and he says, knock knock. This Slow King set up on an iron treads. He be clicking iron defense, got that Shookaberry, got to freaking +4 defense, started calm mining up, and stored power through the rest of the team. Congratulations, Scamp on that highlight from week 1. Now getting into the actual week 2. Here are the lineups. There's a couple of things to note. FNP versus Emo, that is going to, so they're both 1-0 right now, so at least one team's going to 1-1. And then Pony Island Pelipers and CGO are both 0-1 right now, so that's another team that's definitely going to be 1-1. TL 1-0 and LTG 0-1. So let's see how we end up after this week. First things first, going right back to Stamp. You know what? Stamping his approval on everybody because he brought the most perfectly EV'd Gliscor. And you know what? Just to make reparations for my sin of not including him week 1, we're gonna watch the rest of the game. This is around turn 5. As you can see, most of the mons are still alive. We're gonna watch this on fast mode. But check this out: Gliscor getting the toxic on that Don fan, living on literally 1% from this ice spinner, and he is going to come back and avenge later in the game. You see, there are some important things that this Gliscor needs to check. I'm gonna put this on hyper fast mode. It might go a little bit too fast, but I just want to get through this so we can get to some of the other highlights. I just want to show you how that Gliscor living on 1 is going to come back later in this matchup and kill. This is another thing to note. This Delphox made this Baxcalibur have to check it. Like, one of the most dangerous things on your team, you got to use your to check your Delphox. Okay, so the Avalugg gets the rocks away with a rapid spin, and then this freaking Iron Moth gets paralyzed. So that gives this Gliscor a perfect opportunity to come in and get the Earthquake later. And this Iron Moth was Toxic Spikes plus Morning Sun, and the Lantern couldn't break it. And if it's bulky like that, it might be difficult for the Meowscarada to break it. And then it was at +1, so you know the Annihilate could have had some issues with it. And then you got the Tinkaton, which would have been a good switch to the Meowscarada as well. So we don't really know what would have happened in the end if the Gliscor did die, but I will say that Gliscor came in clutch with a vengeance. Congratulations to Scamp for making the highlights twice this week, because I forgot you last week, brother. Okay, oh, I forgot. I gotta switch over back to the other view. So now we got a couple of pictures coming up. We have LTGA Healy takes down Tago. The black and white Sandstall team that I like from Team Liquidation. A little bit of favorable hacks here. Got some paralysis on the Reuniclus, which really helped out. But that brings LTG to 1-0 over Team Liquidation, top rated in my power rankings and bottom rated in my power rankings. So that's a little bit spicy to start out the week. Next, we're jumping over to an FMP Fluttermane Pirates match, and I want you to go ahead. I'm going to tell you right now, this Salamence Scarf. Go ahead and look at what's remaining on his team, what's in front of him right now. I'm going to show you, you ever look at those like weight loss commercials and they're like, before and after, like, this isn't even the same guy anymore. That's not the same Salamence, okay? These two pictures, those are not the same Salamence. I'm not going to show you what the team looks like after that. This is a family channel, okay? I can't show you what the opposing team looks like after that Salamence got like that. He got that Moxie boosting. Okay, jumping back to Team Liquidation, down 0-1 in the matchup right now, but we have a busted Zeraora come out of nowhere and takes 6 kills to bring it back to 1-1. Changing scenes. We have this Zeraora behind a light screen right now. Switches, gets a single Calm Mind boost up, crits a Focus Blast, and let me just point out, crit Focus Blast, 55% on that Zera. That's got to be like a bulky Assault Vest or something, because that is a suspicious calc right there. Definitely an Assault Vest Zero. And look at the rest of the team. When your check to opposing Zera is a Assault Vest Zera of your own, and then you also have like probably a Rindo Seismitoad, but bad news, the Seismitoad is a little bit chipped right now. You're gonna see what happens for the rest of the game. We have the Z Focus Blast coming out and taking this down, and then unfortunately the rest of the team really just does not have any answers. Yeah, Rindo Berry's not gonna save you from +1 when you're at 37. Salazzle, bop. Critical hit. I don't know if that matters. Salazzle's not super bulky, but bop. And when you're at +1 Spit F, you're gonna bop. You're gonna have a hard time revenge killing it. Bop. 6 kills, Zera Aura, completely busted, completely broken. We love to see it. Jump it back over to those Google slides. And we're also gonna have to, I'm making it difficult for myself. I only have one screen and I'm changing the scene back and forth. I gotta pull up my dang OBS every time I gotta do it. I'm a silly little goose for not getting a second screen here. But FMP Reg comes out and gets a Carvana sweep to end a game. And that clean sweep, FMP 3-0 sweep over Emo Flamigo. That just feels good. Feels good if you're an FMP fan. Feels bad if you are an Emo Flamigo fan. Jumping back over to the replay view. So I know I said it was a Carvana sweep, but it starts here. This is interesting. So we have the Scraggy wide left into the explosion from the Pharaoh Seed. If that Pharaoh Seed did not explode, if he would have predicted the high jump kick miss, I think Reg would have been in a much worse position. But honestly, you can't just predict a high jump kick miss, right? So you have the Spritzy come out here, and this Carvana, once it gets going, it doesn't stop. And look at this calc. This is a calc that is kind of crazy. Okay, boosts in case it's Scarf, right. But look, crunch, 88%, just clean kill on that Chinchou. What in the heck? Like, that's got to be a roll or something, because I know it's Life Orb, but just clean killing a Chinchou, which is supposed to be like a bulky pivot in Little Cup, unacceptable. But Reg, congratulations. Appreciate your win, brother. We are going back to a couple of pictures just so I can stop manually doing this switching. Next, we have a Kasib Mewtwo that brings Divinity to 2-0 on the season. So I want you to take a look at that. What in the world is this thing called? Oh, that's a Fluttermane, like the Fluttermane Pirates. I was like, I don't know, Misdreavus with the, like Super Saiyan Misdreavus, okay? Look at that Super Saiyan Misdreavus, and then look at the rest of Divinity's team. Nothing on that team looks like it wants to take a Shadow Ball. Maybe the Skeledirge, Fire Crocodile Boy. Maybe he can Terra into something that will be able to check it, but honestly, nothing there looks like it wants to take a Shadow Ball. Kasib Mewtwo comes in clutch, kills the actually one-hit kills with Psy Strike after that because it doesn't have much. Super Saiyan Misdreavus doesn't have much Fizz Def, and then pretty easy cleanup from there. So that Divinity ties up the week, or I think that brings Team Liquidation to 2-1 over LTG. But then we have the Super Sub Pez. Okay, so at the end of last week, I had a message from Don Platinum, LTG Don Platinum, calling out Master Bago from Team Liquidation, saying that he's going to like mess him up, all right? And then Don's not even showing up for the match. What happened, brother? We got Super Sub Pez. I don't even think he's a Little Cup player, but he says, I'll come in there, boy. I'll 3-0 him, and I'll send this week to 2-2. Okay, so top-rated team, my bottom-rated team on the power rankings, 2-2 on the week already. It's juicy, and let me tell you, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. Game of the week is gonna be this final match because it was a spicy one. It was a really spicy one. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay? Going back to some highlights. Pony Island Pelipper's Peachy's Ponyta is 2 cent to hit a headbutt, so he gets that +2, and then he goes wide left against this Toad School. Primal ends up sweeping up the game after that, and that is leading to I think this is the first game that I've showed from them, so let's just say it's 1-0, in favor of the CGO. But you'll see the final result. We also see Mare coming out here. Mare, well-trained Slowking Galar. Take a peep. You see that's turn one. Turn one, she Ari had a Garchomp out. We have probably like a Shucko Slowking Galar or something. And Garchomp switches out. We go for Ice Beam. And that is turn one freeze into Quillfish. We love to see that. We hate to see that. We love to see it. It's the drama, baby. And guess what? This Slowking Galar isn't even done because Mare makes a heads up prediction. Fire blast, sorry, not fire blasting, flamethrowing on a Talonflame that U-turns out. The Talonflame U-turns out into the Goldango and then another 10% burn. The burn is a lot less impactful than the freeze, but still, well-trained Slowking Galar leads to a Mare 3-0 victory over Ari. Congratulations, Mare. And then finally, another one from CGO. CGO was hot this week. Goat DTT Goat Grum. Okay, he always goes for like the most expensive, and he's got like the hottest record. He's just consistent player, consistent guy, stand-up personality. We love Grum. We stand Grum. Grum is 2-0 on the season, taking down Zank, who got the game of the week last week. Grum takes down Zank to go to 2-0, but also to take CGO 4-1 over the Pony Island Pelipers, who were originally, I think, second or third place on my rankings, and they lost week one, and then they got 4-1 over CGO this week. So my power rankings are a little bit off because that was definitely my most wrong prediction thus far, but they can still pull it back. I think they still got some steam in them. That leads us to the game of the week. The Volbeat performance of all time, deciding the Team Liquidation versus LTG game. So can the Lavender Town Gengars take out Team Liquidation and really shake up the power rankings? Let's see. I will switch over to the replay view, and this is going to be my game of the week. Okay, let me just, yep. Okay, so we see that we have a Sun matchup into a freaking Volbeat and Dudunsparce. Like, whenever I'm playing a Sun team, I'm like, you know what, the two mons that I really want to bring? I want to bring my Volbeat and Dudunsparce. And then we also have an Urshifu Rapid, which obviously does not love the Sun. So what we're probably going to see is, ooh, we eat that and we take those glares. That's a big glare there. We probably want to set up the rain if we are Nido here. And then, you know, make that weather war. So here we see him like setting up the rain, trying to get rid of that, keep the photosynthesis away from some of his mons. He's got both the Walking Wake and the Great Tusk, which are benefiting from that Sun, and also the Cinderace, which just brings out the freaking power. So we're trading rocks, and obviously that Torkoal gets him off, but the Torkoal doesn't have as good of recovery, so he kind of wants to get out. And this is big play here, big play. We stay in with the Dudunsparce and trade our health on a Rapid Spin for a kill on Great Tusk. Big play, but we still haven't seen this Volbeat. This is when the Volbeat gets out. The Volbeat sets up the rain and he gets out of there. It's like, if that was all he did, like, that's still useful in the matchup. You have the priority rain. But this Volbeat isn't done yet. He is not done. This is the Volbeat matchup. What, like, why is Volbeat our Cinderace switching? And why does every time it comes out, it looks so spicy? We're roosting. The flip turn takes nothing because it's in the sun, and it's got a freaking Rocky Helmet. Like, Rocky Helmet Volbeat was just like the bring of the century. We're taking rocks, but we're checking dang everything with it. So we're getting the Rocky Helmet chip. We're switching the weather. We're throwing out some Thunder Waves, and then we get the U-turn to break the disguise of the Mimikyu to get the Volbeat back out, and then a critical hit play rough from Mimikyu does not even do half to Volbeat. I always rag on Mimikyu, and I'm like, this thing sucks. I can't stand it. It's like it's always worth way too many points on freaking draft boards, and it's just showing its damn value. The Volbeat coming out here to check that it's changing the weather back to rain, and at this point, with like basically I believe a full health Latios here, yeah, a full health Latios, Naito is just able to clean this up. But reason it's my game of the week, obviously the Dudunsparce play, staying in on the Great Tusk to take that boom burst. Obviously the Great Tusk was rapid spinning, expecting the Tornadus Therian to come in, and the Dudunsparce staying in, that was big. And then Volbeat just putting in more work than it's really worth. Like, we love to see that. Usually, like in an old gen, you might see it get up a tail glow and baton pass something, and that's useful to a team. But this is like a matchup that it was actually coming in. And the funniest thing to me is that we switch in a Volbeat into Cinderace like 2 or 3 times to threaten the Thunder Wave, and the Cinderace is always like forced out of Volbeat. That is a hilarious trade, and we love that for the Volbeat. So finally, we get to a couple of just wrap up things for the week. We see the final result of all the games. So we have 2 4-1s this week. FMP is jumping to first place after 4-1ing Emo Flamigo. Pony Island Pelipper jumping to last place after getting CGO'd 4-1 by CGO, but you just got CGO'd, brother. And then Team Liquidation with that Volbeat performance advances to 3-2, and they take second place on the leaderboard. Here are the current standings. You can't see the differential. Ah, that's not what I wanted to move. I wanted to move me. There's the differential for you. And also gonna start giving some shout outs to the player rankings here. So you see 4, 2, and 0 players. We have Divinity, Grum, King Rock, and Scamp. 2 of those are from the Fluttermane Pirates, so congrats to King Rock and Scamp. Keep up the performance. A lot of 1 and 0 players are cut out of the bottom there because it only shows the top 10. So it's alphabetical if you're 1 and 0, but as the season progresses, we'll have more disparity in the rankings. Final 2 things. Week 3, these are the matchups. Get excited. I'm particularly excited for that. I think they're all good, actually. I don't know which one's my favorite. It's looking a little spicy this week. I will say the matchup that I'm particularly excited about: Cameron versus Daddy. There has been some mudslinging, and this is going to be the storyline for next week. Expect it on the dang wrap up. Get out of my face.